One of the most frequently asked questions I get here on my channel is, how do you record? So I thought I'd finally take this opportunity to show you guys how I set up, what equipment I use, and how I record. So let's check it out. Alright, first let's talk about equipment. So basically for microphones, what I use on my snare, my toms, are Shure 98DS mics. You've probably noticed them in my videos. They're really small. They're only about the size of my thumb, if that helps at all. They're really great microphones. They're a little on the pricey side. I want to say they're $250 each. So they are a little pricey, but the benefits of these microphones are that they are really small, easy for travel, if you're touring, for storage and stuff like that, and also less of a chance that you're gonna hit them while you're playing. As far as my kick mic, I use a Shure Beta 52A. That's the first kick drum mic I've ever used, and I haven't changed it at all. It works well for me, and I like it. So, and as far as an overhead goes, I do use a Shure 57. I don't really know where it is right now, but I only have one. I really kind of am limited on overheads or just supplies in general. So I've been using that as an overhead, which is why a lot of the time some of you might be like, I can't hear a hi-hat or I can't hear this cymbal. It's because it's usually either on this side or on this side, and I just haven't had the time or really the funds to go buy a nice overhead mic. So really, besides the 98DS mics, everything I use is just kind of basic, nothing too over the top, and it really works for me. And obviously you don't need to have these kind of mics to record. Pretty much I know a lot of mic companies have like packs that you can buy for like pretty cheap. Those work as well. So that's what I use for my mic setup. So let's check out all the technology behind me. Alright, so welcome to the tech section of the tutorial recording video. First off, all my microphones, they run into one interface, which is the Tascam 1641. Been using it for a few years. It's great. Probably not the best interface you can get, but it's done its job, and for the price, I think it was $600. I could be wrong, don't mark my words, but at the time, good price, and it does its job, and it's still working pretty well. So basically what's special about an interface is that it takes all these mic channels, puts them through the interface into the computer just by USB here, and throws them all in their separate channels and tracks. What's good about that is instead of having a mixer and mixing it on the mixing board, and then having it go into your computer on probably a stereo track. What this does is it puts it into your computer all on their separate tracks, showing up here, and you can actually EQ it on the computer, each drum separately. So you have a snare and you're like, oh, I want to add some highs and lows to this. You can do that. Totally awesome. Super easy. So that's why I love this interface. I really wanted to be able to EQ my drums on the computer and have everything on their separate track so I can edit there, have it all digital on the computer. Basically, what I have here, it's 16 channels. There's 2 XLR inputs in the front. There's a few in the back. Don't even use those because I don't need to. I basically have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 XLR inputs. You got your kick, snare, tom 1, tom 2, overhead. And then right over here, a lot of you guys ask how I get my iPod audio into my track. Well, this is how. I have a 1/4 inch adapter plugged into 1/8 inch cord. 1/8 inch cord goes into the iPod. Bam. iPod music into your mix. How do I listen to it all? I have a headphone jack over here. This long cord eventually plugs into my in-ears. So that's how that works. And basically, all this goes in an interface simply by USB into the computer. People ask what software I use. Garageband. I used to use Cubase, fooled around with Logic Pro a little bit, and I said, why am I creating all this extra hassle when I can just use GarageBand? Not the best program, but honestly for what I'm doing for drum covers, it's perfect. It has everything there. You can EQ your drums, you can record them, you can edit them, you can do everything that I really need to do in GarageBand, and I think it's also going to be really easy to show you guys how I do that too. So let's look and see how I record. Alright, so if you're going to use Garageband, I guess I'll show you guys how you would set this up. Basically, I just open a new project. My template's already set up right now, but basically, let's pretend that I'm opening a new project, which I am. So we're going to hit New Project, and you're going to want to make sure that you choose something that is not loops, so like a real instrument. So let's pick voice for now. So what you're going to do from here is name your project, and it's going to open up a new project. It's going to throw you these two. I just picked these because I needed 2 tracks to start with. I'm actually going to get rid of them and go up to track and hit new track and choose the middle one, which says real instrument, which is what we're doing. Alright, so it's going to open up one track here. Basically, depending on how many drums you need, in my case, how many tracks you need for how many drums you have, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 for the audio iPod input that I have. So let's go up here. I already have 1, so that means I'm going to need how many more, guys? 5. Okay. Let's go to real instrument again. I know it's going to give me 2. Now you have 6 tracks up here. So basically what you're going to do now is you're going to go up to GarageBand and then Preferences, because probably at this point your computer hasn't recognized that you have something plugged in. So what I'm going to do is unplug my interface from my computer, since I need to kind of give my computer a kind of slap in the face, say, hey, it's already plugged in. Give it a little bit and it should say, hey, you've plugged in a device, do you want to use it? So once it's detected that device, it'll say it right here. So in my case, for audio output, it says US 1641, audio input US 1641. So I'm going to click out of this audio MIDI box here that I found in Preferences. So now, this is kind of where it's important. I hope it's not too hard to see on this camera. It probably is, but I'm going to talk you through it. So basically, these tracks on the left, you need to go to the right and find your input source, and the corresponding tracks need to match up with your input source. So let's call this first one, what is this? The kick. So on my interface, the kick is in channel 1. So over here, you're going to want to choose mono 1. And obviously they're all mono tracks because they're all going on their own channel. The second one on my interface is my snare, and that's in channel 2. So you're going to go to mono 2. And then for the third one, that's my tom 1s, and that's in mono 3. So you're going to want to do that for the rest of one. Mono 4, mono 5. And then my 6th one is actually in the 1/4 inch input in channel 10. So I'm going to choose mono 10 for that one. And that's that. So at this point, your computer, GarageBand, is probably programmed just for single track recording. And since you're going to be recording multiple tracks at once, multiple drum mics through your interface, GarageBand is going to need to know that you need to enable multi-track recording. So what you're going to do is go up to Track and click Enable Multi-Track Recording. So that's going to throw a record symbol down here. So you're going to check all of those to make sure that they're all enabled for recording. So basically after this, all you do is hit record and then just start playing. So I'm going to open up a sample track that I recorded a few weeks ago, and I'll show you how to EQ the drums after that. So I found an old yellow card track project that I did a few weeks ago. So pretty much I'm going to show you, pretty much this is what it looks like after it's recorded. Looks great in purple. So you can see each track individually. Let me zoom in so you can kind of see what I'm talking about when I say individual. So basically, you can listen to each one. This is the kick. Okay, pretty straightforward. You can listen to each one individually, which is great because that means you can EQ it individually. So to EQ, basically, you're gonna click on the, when they're all highlighted, they're all dark purple. So just click on one of them, and then you're gonna go over to Master Track. Sorry, Edit. And then you're gonna see down here it says Visual EQ. You're gonna click on that, and can't tell you how I EQ my drums, because if I did, y'all would know my secrets. But visual EQ, basically there's hundreds and thousands of videos on YouTube about EQing drums. I just wanted to show you guys how to get to that window. This is fantastic. I love EQing. It's really fun because your drums just sound great. It's amazing. I love EQ. So visual EQ, do that, and then you're gonna hit on, and then obviously drag it down here, drag some bass, some low end, some high end, do whatever you want. It's really fun to play around with, great way to learn it. I learned how to EQ just kind of by messing around with stuff and saying, hey, you know, I like the sound of that. Then somebody was like, well, you really need to watch real videos about it. So you also have a compressor down here, ducker, you got a gate up here, all this stuff. Pretty simple for GarageBand. And so what I'll do is I'll EQ my drums, and then the music track's down here, and that's going to be always there, so you have all this. So basically that's how I record. It's way more simple than you might think, and I hope this helped you guys. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Please, and I will respond, because I really want to see you guys posting some awesome drum videos, and I really want to help you out. So shoot me a comment below. Hope this helped, and you guys take care.